Okay, we are back. One. Let's see if I can figure out what the actual Twitch is going on here. Because it should be working without delays. Hopefully it will. But I'm not so sure anymore. And I'm beginning to question my ISP. This will of course hurt my average viewer numbers, but I have to try to figure out why things go awry, and only on Discord. So, let's crack on. And let's see what else can we find hidden here. Like this new adversary. That seems like a remnant of a Jurassic era. Nice evade. Oh, come on. Beastie boy. Give me a break, I was taking a look at chat. Welcome back if you rejoined us. And as usual, you know, do let me know if you're watching and if the stream starts to buffer for any reason. I'm trying to keep on it as well, but I'm already juggling my attention between 3 monitors, so it might be a bit hard. So, Alma, if you're back, as I was saying before, we will be playing for quite a few hours today. And this should be a good reason to stick around. Cool, says Alma, I'm glad you like it. We are here to entertain. Yes, nice reversal. Nice parry. And we are done with this fellow as well. Just 1 second to see if I can... check on something here. No. Basically, that would be it. That happens when you don't have enough real estate on your monitors. You're trying to juggle to see when everything is working. We are back. Are we? Almost, just 1 second. Yes, we are. And right now, I see no buffering 4 minutes in. I'm curious how soon the buffering started just before. Great. Some more loot. As stated in our first stream, the game has quite a lot of currency and loot that can be used to upgrade our body frame's abilities, but also our weapons. There is a body there. How do I get there? We will be exploring every nook and cranny, so bear with me. We are in this for the long haul, not the short, fast walkthrough. Basically, we want to make sure that we don't miss any content, any interesting tidbit. Oops. Yes, the game has fall damage. It's something I try to avoid, but sometimes you just slip and fall. Why is the rescue team so late? We've lost connection to comms. I promised I wouldn't eat this garbage food again. Dots. We have to last until the rescue team comes. The body needs fuel to survive. So basically we are part of the newest, let's say, incursion coming from the sky, when a mysterious force tries to reconquer this planet. There has been expeditions before us, which of course, as you can expect, met grim fates. And we uncover a lot of our story and the world's background through various tidbits of information scattered around the world on dead human bodies, also through cutscenes, which you can activate by sometimes resting at these camps. And it makes a really fun and cool experience, because you feel like there is plenty to find and discover in the world. And it gives a very good motivation to go up again and again against these enemies who can hurt pretty hard, as is illustrated. So we best avoid their attacks, just like this, and counter-attack. As said before, the game is very fun. Outcry to the sky! The network is down, the sky burns, the colony falls apart. Where is Mother Sphere? Why is the colony falling down to Earth? Answer my last call, Mother Sphere. Why? You promised us salvation. Was it a lie? The plot thickens as we update our data banks with new information. To continue my previous train of thought, the game is fun, the combat is satisfying, it can be challenging, it is designed to be challenging, but it never really feels unfair. It asks you to be on your toes, adapt to every situation, use the arsenal of moves you have at your disposal, including dodge, parry, evade. And you do it with grace, a lot of gravity-defying grace. The fashion style, I would say, is provocative. But then again, a lot of people, not a lot, some people were denouncing this kind of representation of women, when once again these are not real persons, they are combat frames, as problematic, as objectifying women. I don't feel like here we have an objectified person, rather a strong character who can stand on their own and are not afraid to express themselves in any manner they see fit. But also, do let me know your thoughts on this topic. Do you prefer women that are like Eve or Lara Croft presented in video games? Or would you rather go with more everyday, more common representations like let's say Ellie in Last of Us 2? And no, I will not mention the other female protagonist in Last of Us, because I don't believe she represents in any shape or form on average representation. She was another extreme, a very muscular, very masculine representation. But again, if you like that, do let me know in the chat. Do let me know what do you think about the game so far. Again, it's a AA that was released, if I'm correct, originally in April 2024, after being revealed in 29. So there were a good 5 years between the announcement of the game and its actual release. And now it has come to PC as well, after being in the beginning a PlayStation exclusive. Careful with them statues, as I've told you before, they can hide nasty surprises. And I'm pretty sure we have one here. Nice reversal, and cut him in half from the back, or cut them in half from the back. As Yuno would say, these gender talk can be a bit confusing, but here we have more baddies lurking around. Let's pay them a visit and make sure we dodge, parry, slice, and give them their demise. Ensure thorough security procedures at the lion statue entrance. Team Athena leader. Nothing very interesting there. We see a box behind the glass, an enemy behind the glass, and the body to investigate. And of course I expected a trap. I was right. No, 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 my man. Leave me be. Examining the corpse reveals nothing, but it gives us a bit of XP. Let's see what hides in this box. Ooh, we have a lot of materials for our suit. And we also have some gears we can equip. I will switch to fixed damage gear because it has damage reduction. We have a new exospine that we can equip, a chain type exospine that increases attack power of combo attacks level 2 or higher by 27%. And as you can see, as we will continue, we will be able to unlock new slots, new equipment, new gear, including our companion drone, who is controlled by an actual human of the game, not a real human from the real world. And that's it. Let's crack on and see what other surprises can we find in this game, in this world. Again, careful with the fall damage because it can be nasty. Continuing on, just a few more general announcements. The stream, as always, is lurker friendly, so if you just wanna hang out, watch the game, listen to my voice, which is said to have properties that put you to sleep, feel free. But also, don't be shy if you wanna exchange a few ideas, a few questions, a few words. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Feel free to try our new gimmicks. Give us a well. Or just cool to see your cool factor as determined by the Emporium assistant, who also doubles as a chatbot. Let's see, it's 16 minutes and 50 seconds. And we had apparently no buffering so far, which gives me hope. Which gives me hope that this might be a nice Saturday afternoon where, when we spend time together, enjoy a good game, a good discussion, and why not continue building this community of gaming aficionados, or as I would like to call the members of the Emporium, neon nomads. I have a very good friend who is also passionate about video games and gadgets, and he was very impressed by the vaporware and neon aesthetics I chose for the Emporium. He said he did not expect it, but he agreed that it works very well. Let's just check here as well. Make sure we did not miss any strangler. We have been there, so we will not go back there. As about talking about the future of the Emporium, because Alma I remember Alma asked about it. We are here to stay. We are committed to growing this effort on Twitch. I knew there was one more enemy I missed. On Twitch, on YouTube. As I said, my goal is to have a community that can have fun together, discover more about the games they like. And although a lot of voices are telling me that I should be variety streamer, just as many are calling me out and recommending to focus on a single title. I'm not sure I wanna do that or I can do that. Especially that I don't wanna play free-to-play games or battle royales or MOBAs. We are here to play AAA and AA games, mainly single-player experiences that I find exciting. And I'm hoping to grow a community around the Emporium who finds it just as exciting as I do. I am not looking at I don't know. Again, don't get me wrong, I have no issues with those who enjoy FIFA, League of Legends, Fortnite, Valorant, Marvel Rivals. I do believe they are nice games, but I just don't like multiplayer that much. Sure, if I find an MMO that I like, or Borderlands, looter shooter, that is fun to be played together with a few friends, or even you, dear viewers, yeah, sure, we will go for it. But I'm not very invested, not very keen or curious about free-to-play games that are targeting a different audience and various gimmicks. We are going for something different here. Very different. Even, I would say. Just 1 second. A flying insect, unidentified insect, invaded the airspace of of the streaming setup, and I wanna make sure it's evacuated and also that there are no open windows that would allow more of them to come in. We wanna focus on the game, on the chat, on the people here, not on the insects.
The road is submerged.
I know, but it's our only option.
All right.
Once again, our combat frame, although vulnerable to falling damage, does allow us to spend a very long time, infinite time, underwater. We don't need to come up for air. Respite of the hopeful. Just received the comm signal from a new unit. The Eve protocol begins. Angels of death will descend from the colony. They will read Naitibas from Earth and save us. Mother Spear's salvation is nigh. I'm thankful I lived through this hell for decades. So, as this letter unfolds a bit of more story, more lore, we can find that we are part of this Eve protocol. Basically, we are an angels of death sent from the colony to wipe Naitibas from the earth. Naitibas are these alien creatures that for some reason invaded Earth. 1 second. Okay, I'm not wrong. It seems that the game has crashed. First time this happens. Let's see why. Reload. This hasn't happened before, and I was praising the game for being a double A, which means it released with a smaller than 70 euros price tag, which is the new price for triple A's, sorry. Sometimes it's maybe $60. And it was very well received on PlayStation. And you can see why. It feels like a very polished game. Okay. Let's see how much did the game actually save from our progress. Oops, no, come on. You mean bastard. A bit more resources. And 1 second to make a quick work of this rude boy as well. So basically, Stellar Blade had a very warm reception on console, which I haven't checked, but I expect continued on PC, because it feels like a much more polished game than other games that have been released in the same period. Of course, I'm talking about Mind's Eye, which, although wanted to be a AAA game, has been just bad. Very, very bad. It's an unfinished game, released too early. Most of the people consider so. Nice. Hey, Dead Tongue Tribe, welcome back. Yeah, dodging as much as possible. Not always. And Unreal Engine 5 game crash, big surprise there. I didn't have too many issues with Unreal Engine 5. But do tell me about your experiences with negative or positive on the topic. And yes, as I was saying, this game feels much more polished and looks much more polished than Mind's Eye, that was released just a couple of days ago by the former producers of GTA. Everybody expected a GTA killer, or let's just say some of the press hyped it up as a GTA killer, which of course wasn't the case. But the game proved to be so wrong that PlayStation started issuing refunds. Which didn't happen. Oh, come on. Which dodge did you consider? Nasty, nasty. Great. That's my only problem so far with the game. That if there are two opponents and you should be dodging or avoiding attacks, sometimes the system gets a bit confused and didn't really recognize which you... Oh man, come on. Which action should have been correct. As you've seen before, we were getting both a dodge from the spitter that was in the background, and we're trying to move around the melee opponent we had in front of us. We executed a W shift, which should have put us behind the beastie we were facing, but instead considered the dodge for the spit from the enemy further away and allowed the close combat enemy to pick us up by our neck. Former producer from X Studio means nothing today, and we have examples in the past from Rockstar team bonding. I agree, and I don't. having experience in a game or a big franchise can be at least interesting a premise for a new project. You can see that, for example, with the developers from Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I agree that the game should speak itself rather than the developer's experience, maybe. But being a business, that can give you reassurances that they will do good. And I was in love with what the developers of Clair Obscur did. And I felt like indeed these people were really talented and creative, and once no longer have been held back by the chains of Ubisoft, let's say, vision about how game development should be, how games should be, and that overly bloated open worlds, they managed to produce a game that is, in my opinion, and not just mine, come on, Triple Attack, a serious contender for the Game of the Year title. On the other hand, I agree, and the best example for your argument is Build Me a Rocket Boy, that failed big time with Mind's Eye. And they released the game, or half a game, don't even know, because they said a lot of content will be coming after release,
You need to go there to get
but
to the
I don't think they
transportation.
will have the chance to release it, or people will not care anymore. 90% of the cases the publisher saves the producer from itself, and in the case of indie games, most of them don't come out because of lack of management and poor ethics. You can have that as well, but I know, for example, Romanian studios who dealt with this issue and didn't have poor ethics. Some developers do need the guidance of the publisher, others may feel hindered by the constraints they are faced with. In my, it's just another drop in the bucket. Yeah, it was. It was a weird one. It had all the bad signs that is going, all the warning signs that it's going to be a bad game. No early review copies, contracts with streamers closed, cancelled just before the stream went live. No marketing at all. Launch day issues, day zero patch shenanigans. But I feel like one of the penguin, or what's his name, of the streamer put it very well. The game is so bad that it can be fun to play. For some people at least. If you don't take it seriously, and if you take it as a piece of garbage, you can have some fun with it. Poor developers, some developers are poor and are going to close down, and that's part of the natural selection, and it's fine. But some developers are actually screwed over by their publishers. Because a lot of times nowadays publishers are way too focused on trends instead of being focused on delivering good games. And I believe the best example for this is the the not so actually there has been a few days, not too much, since Summer Game Fest closed its shows, and we could clearly see that most of the games were gearing up in three directions. Either Souls-like RPGs, roguelite or Metroidvania like games, or multiplayer shooters. That's why I was so happy to see In Exile's new Clockwork RPG, to see that Outer World 2 looks as good as the first one, and basically see a bit more variety in Microsoft's game show. Because I'm sick and tired of every RPG trying nowadays to be Souls-like. I love the settings for Souls-like game, but I don't have the patience to pay them. I love how, for example, Black Myth Wukong looks, but I don't have the patience to play them. From the very start it looked like another day one Gary incident. You forgot about the gacha games that developed into its own genre. Man, I don't even consider those games, but yes, you are right. At least those are not really present at these industry events. They have the decency to not show their faces there. But you're absolutely right, we have also these gacha-like games. And one of the best examples, and I know that people don't like my comment on this, I feel like is FIFA. Where, although it's no longer called FIFA, it's EAFC now, their most lucrative and most income generating mechanic had become the opening of packs. The opening of FUT packs and gathering those players, which comes with no extra cost because that content is already in the game, yet it manages to make a much better income for the publisher than the game itself. And I don't agree with that. I have a picture of Jeff at the VMAs with the gacha game in the background. Oh! Which gacha game? You did make me curious, that tongue tribe. Which gacha game? I'm trying to remember if somewhere in my memory I have a mental picture of that. Okay. Do let me know, I'm curious, which gacha game could have been the culprit. We'll wait till you find it out. But in the meantime, I feel like we've searched everything we could around here, so it's time to continue with our journey into the unknown. Yeah, been up there, gathered everything. Let's roll. This is the point where last time the game froze up. Hopefully it was just a one-off.
The road is submerged.
I know, but it's our only option.
All right.
And yeah, I agree with that tongue and a lot of other players who say that there are major problems with our industry today. First and foremost, Genshin Impact. Ah, yes, agreed. Genshin Impact, although I would argue that Genshin Impact, just for me to try to memorize these codes, wasn't that aggressive a gacha game. again, didn't play it, had some friends who dig into it, and they told me they could enjoy it as a free experience without investing too much, no money at all actually in it. I feel like Diablo turned very much into a gacha game. Again, an unpopular opinion probably, but I was shocked that the main game began to receive less and less attention, and the developers were very aggressively trying to herd you more and more towards the seasonal content. Turned Berserk recently. Haven't played it in a while. I re-downloaded it when I built my streaming PC. Before that I was playing mainly on console, it was just easier. And basically I saw that now in Diablo 4, first you needed a lot of time to go through the main story, and it was a fun time. It had a bit of grinding, but it was fun. Then you were able to finish the main story in just 2 hours to hit the max level as soon as possible, so you can turn your attention on the end game grinding and extra seasonal content. Now when I went into the game to see how it moves on my new PC, I was greeted by a message that I could instantly level up my characters to max level, so why bother with the base game? Let's just focus on the new extra content and cosmetics and seasonal content, and especially investing money in those, lining the pocket of the developer, which feels even more I'm trying to step carefully here with the words I'm using, but I would say hypocritical, because you already shelled out a load of money because it's a AAA, and even more if you bought the deluxe edition or some extras, skins. And at least other gacha games, you have kind of a free content, and then you can decide if you want to invest more or not. But these, you already invested a load of money to play the game, and you have to invest even more in eye candy. And my biggest complaint about Diablo is that it's right now much more about eye candy than suspenseful or meaningful gameplay. Okay, rambled on enough about Diablo. Let's continue with Stellar Blade. We are going to improve our equipment. First and foremost, our exospine. Upgrading it so we get a critical damage increase of 23%. As you can see, and as I've told you before, there are a lot of materials and currency in the game we'll be looking for. And now we can also upgrade our weapon. We increased our attack power and also our gear socket. And now we have one extra gear socket in which we can put another enhancement. So we already have the fixed damage gear, which reduces our damage, our received protection gear, sorry, which reduces our damage, and the combo attack enhancement gear. So I would say we are good here. Exospine is upgraded, all looks good. Okay, let's see if we can purchase any new skills. Yes, we can. Lovely. Which was the... At one point I remember they're not counter, focus boost, repulse, threat detection. Makes it easier to use blink and repulse. I will take this. because my reflexes are not their best since I'm splitting my attention between the stream and the game. But I do remember we also had some kind of a sneak attack. Maybe? Rush chain. Let's upgrade a bit our aerial blow, yes, so basically we can attack from the air. Beta energy theft. Shockwave. We still have a few locked trees we will delve into later. And let's take counter 1. I'm happy with these abilities. Let's see how can we continue the game. Also, that tongue tribe, do let me know what is your favorite game nowadays, or the game that you would play with pleasure. And while you answer that, I'll shut up for a bit because the green light on the chair indicates that we have a bit of a flashback to go through.
Adam, I was very surprised when I first met you.
Why?
Back in the colony, we learned that everyone on Earth was completely wiped out.
I'm sure it must have seemed that way. But you can't expect Mother Sphere to know everything.
Then there are other survivors out there, like you.
Yes, but it's rare to see them. Earth is still pretty inhospitable to humans.
As stated earlier, each time we rest, we replenish our resources, but we also respawn the monsters, the Nightibas, that have taken over the Earth, and this Mother Sphere have sent us as angels of death
Where's the transportation device?
to reconquer Earth.
Try activating this monorail panel.
There is no power.
No worries. Let's check the power control room under the stairs.
And coming back a bit to our earlier discussion,
You have to reorganize the code in order to restore power.
there are, I feel, indie developers who can... Nice and easy puzzle, by the way. There are indie developers who can hold
That's
up
great.
their own and
Try activating the monorail
And
panel
deliver.
again.
as a Romanian example, I would give as an example Stuck in Attic. Their last game, Near Mage, is not perfect by any means, and it's very
Don't
different
worry,
from what I
it's the monorail.
expected. But I do
This ancient
admire
device is our
Liviu's
transport.
commitment
All right then.
to deliver.
After you.
And I played the game a few days ago here on the channel, and it was quite well received until it wasn't. But the game brought us one new follower, which I am happy for, because there were some other Romanian folk who was interested in how the new game, the continuation of Gibbous, will turn out, or rather, say, Spiritor's spiritual successor. Okay, I agree with you. Rich narrative, good blend of mechanics and puzzles, stable and replay value. But this can be applied to a few games. Give me some examples, give me some concrete examples. Not just for me, but maybe some other viewers
Are you alright?
can feel inspired and try some new games.
Oh, I was just remembering something from yesterday. This city, it's so quiet and so lonesome.
Well, that's what happens when a city becomes devoid of humanity. Eve, What are you going to do after you defeat the Alpha Natiba?
All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose. All we must do is complete the mission.
You mean the extinction of all Natibas? Right? To think that the point of your existence is to snuff out another species. No fun in that.
Game looks good, says Alma. I agree. I very much like the aesthetic of
We're
the
here.
game.
Do you want to get off?
And I'm just happy to see that the hair tessellation is infinitely better than the one we had in Mind's Eye, where the hair was just so weird. Ultramarines 2, most of our music is dedicated to the Warhammer universe. Elden Ring, planning an album. Hogwarts Legacy, Scare Ritual, the new Doom was kinda fun. Ironside, Street Fighter 6. Okay, let's take it in chunks. Man, I am so happy that we connected. I love the Warhammer universe. I'm not as versed in it as some of my friends, but I love the lore. And I was always the weird kind of guy who preferred painting the miniatures much more than playing with them. And I always was fascinated by its lore. Elden Ring, while I fully respect the game, and it brings me, let's say, fun memories, because I had the pleasure as one of my last acts while working for Bandai Namco to design the press kit, which included a cape and a sword. Yes, a real sword. It wasn't sharpened, but it was a big real sword. Couldn't really be bothered to get good. It will be disappointing to some. I prefer games where I can have fun, and my idea of fun is not to try a boss 15, 20, 30, 100 times. I have a few friends who do enjoy that very
Looks like
much.
This used to be a plaza.
I especially have
Except it's underwater now.
one friend who really
The good
loves
thing is you won't have to go in the water.
the game, every Souls game,
The Hall of Records is that.
and she usually plays healer. So yeah, she plays it multiplayer with her friends, and she likes to assume the role of the healer. And I always admired their commitment to the game, a commitment I couldn't share. Planning an album, nice. Hogwarts Legacy, man, I love that game. It was Warner Brothers at its best, taking one of their ultra famous franchises, IPs, because I don't think there is anyone who haven't heard about Harry Potter nowadays, and turning it into a wholesome single player experience that was just so fun. It was so fun to go through it, and I loved it, and it was working great. It was polished. It was a huge success, and it showed that single player games can still be much fun, much success as well.
It might be best to stay away
But
for a little while.
it was the exception from the kind of games that Warner Brothers released. Let's not forget Gotham Knights, which was an utter failure. Oops, I parried instead of dodge. That was on me. Come on, big bad boy. Oh, yes, finally. Oh, nope. Okay. Still learning, still working on this. And yeah, I loved Hogwarts Legacy. I'm very sorry for Warner Brother Games, especially after I saw their James Bond game. I'm trying to not be judgmental and don't have preconceptions about it, but I've already put a screenshot, a comparison screenshot on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. You can follow the Emporium on social media as well, where I've shown the difference between Uncharted 4, a 10-year-old game, more than 10 years, and James Bond. And of course that Nathan Drake was just wiping the floor with the young James Bond. Legionnaire 272's eyewitness account, ... sees something is falling from the sky. Did we get any orbital bombardment warnings? ... I'm curious if these falling debris from the sky was our arrival, or if we are talking about previous expeditions that took place in the game world. Scare Ritual, I played it. It was okay, but not my favorite. New Doom was brilliant. I would say New Doom was brilliant. Ironside haven't played yet. Street Fighter 6, I liked it, but I liked the latest Tekken 8 a bit more. Elden Ring we finished individually and the co-op unofficial came out and then the game just opened up. It was the same crew that did first Mordor game. When you get time, check the credits and about 40% of the names match. Nice! Nice details there. I will check out the game. But again, more than check out I cannot promise. You will see on this channel a lot of RPGs, adventure games, action-adventure games, and shooters. I love a good shooter. I love Doom the Dark Ages. I love that it was a return to the fact that all Dooms never felt like an F-22 fighter jet, like Doom Eternal felt. Double jumps all over the place, glory kills, weak points, switching the weapons on the fly. It was a very fast-paced... Okay. This is new. As you can see, the game froze again. Which is weird. Didn't happen with the version that I was playing before launch. Because I got this game for review and the original pre-launch version did not freeze. Wow. Okay. Give me 1 second. To reset the game. Frame rate enable define your FPS counter. We'll do that in a jiffy. The problem is that my task manager is popping up on the screen that has Stellar Blade frozen. And the show desktop command doesn't work. Why would it, right? It works, but on the wrong desktop. Mm-hmm. 1 second. Okay. Finally, we got an error message about low-level fatal error. Whatever that was. had the same problem on the laptop. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. The pre-launch game worked flawlessly. Flawlessly. Managed to make the screenshot, managed to make my impression about the game, played quite a lot of it, and combined my notes from the console version with this one. Okay, full vertical sync is off. Target frame rate is 60. HDR off. Display settings look good. Film grain off. Chromatic aberration on. NVIDIA DLSS. DLSS. Let's go with quality. AMD, I don't care. The FPS was kept to 60. Anti-aliasing. Everything else is as they detected it. Let's try again. Target frame rate is at 60, so basically it is kept. It's not unlimited. And vertical sync is of course off. Just 1 second to check on these again. Rendering scale quality, AMD off. Have no frame rate issues, so it shouldn't be this. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, I got no clue either. I will see. My drivers are up to date, and I'm telling you, this only happened now for the second time with the final version of the game, the one that was released on
This used to
Steam.
be a plaza.
You're right. Except it's underwater now. The good thing is you won't have to go in the water.
Can I skip
Hall of
the
Records
cutscene,
is that
please? No? Right. No skipping, getting back to it. So, we were discussing about Doom before the game froze. And I was saying that it came back to its origins, and instead of playing it like the fighter jet all over the place, you actually got the chance to play it as an Abrams tank. Stand your ground and fight. Figure out how to use each weapon, figure out how to get close to your enemies, how to use your shield to close the
It might be best to
distance
stay away from the water.
as soon as possible. And I loved it. My only complaint wasn't that it was slow. And I saw that a lot of new players who their first contact with Doom was Doom Eternal complain that it's slow, that it's not as fun as it used to be, that you don't have to swap your weapons. But being a long-time fan, for me it was much more enjoyable than Doom Eternal. And I loved a lot. My only complaint would be that the music could be very good at in certain moments, but mainly when you were in combat. Outside combat, it was just there. You could even forget about it. While if I like something about the reboot of Doom, both Doom 2016 and Eternal, was that punchy music that was always there, that was always pushing you. Here I feel like the music did not get the same attention. Also, it could be NVIDIA drivers that tried Also, please do tell me how should I call you, because that tongue tribe is a mouthful. Uh, and we know that Nvidia has issues with its drivers lately, just as AMD did before. Did they bungle up this 50 series launch? They did massively. DTT. Okay, we go with DTT. Thanks for joining. Really enjoy our conversation. Tell me more about these music projects you mentioned. You made me curious. In the meantime, we clear up this statue formation. It's like Fetele from Kapulna turned into ash marble. Oh, we have a passcode. That's great. We just need to find the box that it opens. It's going to be kinda strange because we are 3 people in here. We work with real artists and instruments in conjunction with AI and digital tools. Our goal is to privatize music. Sounds very ambitious and... Oops, shouldn't have done this. I missed my landing point and I drowned. So far our water is not friendly. It sounds really interesting. How come you chose your inspiration from video games? Because you mentioned you are doing something from Elden Ring, for Elden Ring. And I'm curious. I also know from a metal band of old who made a song inspired by Assassin's Creed. The lead singer, who is also a gaming journalist, really loved the series, and they created the song called Assassins. Straight to the point. Of course, I'm talking about 9.7 Richter, a metal band I actually quite enjoy, like their songs, and had the pleasure of not just knowing them, but working with them. Since, oh come on, you didn't, oh man. Oh man, that's bad. Okay, let's just die. As I said, I had the privilege of working with Richter 9.7 because at one point I invited them to sing live at one of the Assassin's Creed launch events I have organized in Romania many years ago. I missed that time, that camaraderie, and the people who gathered at those events. There were always such a good vibe and positive attitude. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yes, that was a nice, perfect dodge that helped us kill the beastie. We don't go out of the studio that much, it's projects or sessions. We also have some music for Asylum, the movie studio, that one. Nice! You, as I said, you make me curious. If there is any way I could listen to your work, let me know. Maybe if it's on your YouTube channel, I will check it out. For sure, that's a promise. Because I like when video games inspire other forms of art. Because yes, I said it, for me video games are a form of art. Even more years ago than me being PR and marketing for Ubisoft in Eastern Europe. I did my PhD in semiotics, which is basically the science of communication, about how games are a form of communication, a new communication channel, an interactive one, and how this medium can become the new and much more advanced medium for storytelling. And that once again proves to everyone that many PhDs are just useless. And they represent a passion, or a niche passion, of their authors. We have a code. We fall down here last time, which we can avoid like that. Most of our public works on the channel. I will definitely check it out. Moreover, soon I'm playing a Just Chat session with this small community, or very nano community, very small community we are building here, and if you don't mind, I will play them live, what I found on your channel, to see what others think as well. I promise I will give you my honest opinion. But I am fascinated by... We think you should do it now. Okay. Let's take a break. Let's change the scene. And go into our browser here. Give me just 1 second. Okay. YouTube. Not this one. This one. My channel. Live. My channel. Okay. That tongue tribe. Ooh. I see. I see. Oh, you have a surprise for you personally. I see it now. Okay. Let's listen to this surprise.
Step right in the neon glow, Mr.Jay's where the gamers go. Stacks of dreams and tales untold, pixels sparkle brighter than gold. Mr.Jay's Emporium, it's fun without helium. Roll the dice and grab the gun, level up and chase the sun. Controllers hum like a hymn divine, every move feels like a sign. Joystick twists through space and time, victory's just one more climb. Mr.Jay's Emporium, it's fun without helium. Roll the dice and grab the gun, level up and chase the sun. Southern twist, a shadow grin. This is where the tales begin. Grab your courage, dive right in, where the underdogs always win. Mr.Jay's Emporium, it's fun without helium. Roll the dice and grab the gun, level up and chase the sun. a hymn divine, every move feels like a sign. Joystick twists through space and time. Victory's just one more climb. Mr.Jay's Emporium, it's fun without helium. Roll the dice and grab the gun, level up and chase the sun.
Man, I did not see that coming. Wow. And I'm usually not to be one without words, but okay. I love it. That's my first comment. I love the song. I love the vibes. I love that it's rock, but it also has some southern vibes. Two, it's my most favorite moment I had so far since I started streaming. Today will mark 2 weeks since we started this endeavor, and hands down we had quite a few laughs and I've met some nice people here, but this is by far my most favorite moment, and I'm going to turn this into a clip. This is going to be the very first highlight I'm actually proud to make. This was the moment I was waiting for to turn my clips into a highlight. Thank you very much, DTT. I do have an intro. I will use it if you allow me. I will replace my current intro song. I love it so much. I love it. That was such a nice surprise, and Dark Americana indeed. I love it. Hello for you. Man, that I didn't see this coming. I'm so very impressed. But since we are here and we are looking at the work of DTT, let's check out something else. Oh man. You have me.
Ultramarines, the sons of Ghoulie Man. Whilst we draw breath, we stand. Whilst we stand, we fight. Whilst we fight, we prevail. Nothing shall stay.
Thank you very much, DTT. I really appreciate it.
On the horizon, clad in faith and adamantium, fields of battle cry our song. Ultramarines, we march at dawn.
Man, I love the vibes, I love the song, I love the video clip.
The faith, the Emperor and Ultramar, the drenched Exinos, kindred lot. Ultramarines, we tread in blood. Ultramarini, Dominitus, Ultramarini, Nobrestatus, Ultramarini, Nobilitas, Ultramarini, Argentius, Ultramarini, Dominitus, Ultramarini.
Man, I love it. Congratulations. This is so much fun.
The sons of Ghoulie Man see. Stand up in movable screens, rent down our path. Our vengeance will be terrible. Nothing shall stay our wrath.
For you, I will be streaming as long as I can. We had some buffering issues earlier. It's strange because I did a test with the stream before going officially live. It was all okay, both a single stream and multi-stream. After I came back, I had an issue with buffering that attracted my attention to. restarted the stream, and now is going for almost 1.5 hours without buffering. I'm monitoring the system and the network real time. Also, I'm in communication with the guys from Streamlabs to figure out what's going on and why just Twitch hates my content. But if everything goes well, what time is it now? 5 p.m. I would say at least 7-8 more hours today. So I will be spending once again my Saturday with you fine folk. Especially that DTT made this really nice surprise of making a song for the channel, an intro song, which I love. And they are going to become not just my first highlight and my first clip, because this is by far my favorite moment in the short history of this channel, but also my first recommendation. So DTT, you will go both on Twitch and on my YouTube channel. You will have a special place and the section that we recommend all my viewers to check out your work, because I'm impressed not just with what you've done for me, but also with what I'm seeing here. No, my friends, the honor is all mine.
Walking down this dusty road with a suitcase full of dreams, whistling tunes the wind has thrown.
I love your work. I love your work. Consider me your fan.
Paints its golden beams. Met an old man by the stream. You wisdom on his sleeve. Shared a sip from my canteen.
Man, I love your vibe so much.
He said, life is magic if you believe. For all the wonders of today that never got to be free. Lose yourself along the way.
Yeah, indeed. Dark gospel with an Americana vibe and a bit of Bruce.
You're meant to be.
If you can't tell by my face, I'm engaged. I'm completely engaged.
Lost away in fields of green.
Fuyu, let me know, what do you think about what's going on right now on the screen? And mainly in the speakers or headphones.
More than what it seems.
You don't have a genre.
Of
I can
capricious
get
skies,
fully behind that.
drawing paths we ought to take. In the dark we close our eyes, 'cause at dawn we find escape. Faces and places on a neat collection, exact instances with no recollection. Met a child once in a bar. She said I wouldn't go far.
Ooh, Alma likes it as well. Yeah, great guys.
Forever an outcast, forever a rogue. I challenged my faith and I faced the cold. The child did warn me about my faith. Come to find out, she's my guide to heaven's gate. For all the wonders of today, for all the wonders of today, that never got to be free. Never got to be free. Lose yourself along
Man, I love
the
it.
way. Along the way.
love it.
Find the place you're meant to be.
One more and then we get back to the game.
Ardem, încet, lipsiți de simțire. Sări dintr-o casă din cărămizi de cimitir. Prezint fiecare vis călcat sub bici. Am murit târziu, mă piși pele de flori, n-am apă și lumină. Clădim un viitor pe ruină pentru o viață stinsă în pripă. Am furat de la mulți doar vorbe de bine. Lumânările lor, feștile în tonuri meschine. Lanțuri grele, dar la gât, nu de mâini. Am ales să fiu vreun sfânt, să mă dai la câini, bă. Mi-am ars tinerețea, am ocnit în beton. Acum doar visăm la un tub de freon. Înfipți în cristale, răspundem binar.
Nice
facem coadă la un nou furnal. Am dat cu ură și a prins rădăcini. Am pus în pământ să crească spini. Am dat cu fală și am tot primit. Pasărea în spini, ardem ognit. Furăm de la sânge din pură invidie. Rupem bucăți din neam pe o iluzie vie. Am pus sufletul în plic, l-am vândut cu dobândă. Stăpân pe un leu murdar și schilot de nu știe să plângă, mă. Plânge și mama lui măta sub 2 metri de glie. Sărmana și moarte plătește simbrie. Sclav la jugul poftelor, robul proprie simțirii. Adulmec prăpastea, un nimeni martor al proprii trăiri. Ne-am ars tinerețea, am ocnit în beton. Acum doar visăm la un tub de freon. Înfipți în cristale, răspundem binar. Încet facem coadă la un nou furnal. Am dat cu ură și a prins rădăcini. Am pus în pământ să crească doar spin. Am dat cu fală și am tot primit.
Man, I love your style. And we will come back and visit this topic. This is from a concept hip-hop album that is going to be repetiții istorice românești. Man, I love it. I love it. And I will come back to it and I will go deep with it, boys. Or girls. Or boys and girls. Thank you once again. I am humbled. I love what I saw there. And especially the lyrics from this last song reminded me of some other lyrics someone else wrote a long time ago. Uitându-mă în buzunar n-aș da 2 lei pe nimic, dar am un suflet hoinar colit cu ciorbă la plic. Nici vorbă de circ, merge din suflet pentru tine, își hrănește întâi spiritul și are regrete puține. But that was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. We have a passcode here, don't we? Hint. Okay. So, what's the hint? Ah, okay. I forgot about this code. And yes.
Shopping done.
Man, I really think you should. I feel like you have a strong message. It was already turned into a hook. At one point we will be able to discuss more about some music endeavors the Emporium may or may not have engaged into before it became the Emporium. But I love your message, I love your vibe, and I feel like you have something important, doesn't feel like the right word, something real that you could share there. It feels like it's coming from the heart, from experience, personal experience. Oh, I will definitely do it. I will definitely do it. It would be my pleasure to visit with you guys. Let's set it up. Okay, not up. So I feel like we'll have to lower the water here and come back. Hopefully I can go. Oh, no, I died. Yeah, definitely. Let's set up. I will visit with you guys. I would love to discover more about you because so far what I've seen, I just love it. I already love how this Saturday is turning out. I love the fact that we're meeting new people, new friends, new neon nomads. Some already existing followers are coming back to the channel, spending their time with us, like Fuyu. This is turning out to be... Sure. This is turning out to be some in the fray, other blaze. Indeed. Up. No, come. Really. Sorry about this. As again, fair warning, noob playing, as Krali would love to say. Funny thing is, and I can talk about this before Krali arrives and it turns into a friendly argument, I actually beat him at most games. There is only one game where he proved to be better and did a great job and got the platinum trophy I will never be able to get because there are no longer game servers, and that's Gwent. Carly, as said earlier, has this ability of seeing the meta rules of every game, and he especially enjoys card games like Gwent. He hates Balatro, and that was one of the few games where he actually did better than I did. Coming back to the game, although in my head the tunes from DTT are still ringing. Ooh, we can upgrade? Or we can craft some new costumes, sorry. Okay, let's craft the V2 and keep it. Let's switch up the costumes a bit. Exospine, not enough. Okay, nothing else we can do here right now. The black one is nice. Which one for you? So, let's see what we have. We have the planet diving suit V2, the planet diving suit green, planet diving suit second, which looks like carbon fiber or Kevlar, the black kunoichi, the white kunoichi, and the crimson wings we used last time. So which black one do you prefer, and which attire will we play today? Black kunoichi. Back to black kunoichi. I'm fine with it. And yes, you're right, DTT. 9 out of 10 times if you play against an Ant deck, you will lose in Magic the Gathering. Man, I haven't played Magic the Gathering in years. And I'm tempted to buy some packs because I have to admit I love the art with the Assassin's Creed ones. The Final Fantasy ones looks great as well. Warhammer look nice. This revival and tie into video games is just speaking to me, so maybe I will give it a chance. But then we'll indeed turn this channel into a variety circus, because next to video games we will also do card unboxings, and that would be weird. I will shut up for a bit because we have another flashback coming up. Let's see how it goes.
Adam, do you meet airborne squad members from the colony often?
No. not really. Yesterday, I just happened to be around the area. I've never seen such a large-scale airborne operation.
Why did you save me?
I'm not really sure. It just felt right. Like I was meant to. It's hard to describe. It's just a short, intense feeling.
Okay, lag seems to be in check. Because Twitch is all... At best, Twitch is 5 seconds behind, and that's what I want. Not more. Yeah, boy. Keep annoying me, so... Let me cut you to size. Incoming! Oh, no! Nasty little... Let's cut through the chase. Nice! Perfect dodge. Oh no, I'm not in combat.
That's what you'd expect from a pro.
Oh, thank you for the compliment. Combat consumables. Press R to use the currently selected combat consumable. Hold R to select the desired combat consumable. Combat consumable can be purchased. Okay, I already met the store, thank you. Let's see what combat makes nearby enemies collapse. Damages the enemy shield. Let's go with pulse grenade. For now. Gold, yes please, don't mind if I do. Would have been nice if she had a different hairstyle with each outfit. I agree. There is a setting in the graphics menu where we can choose if we want to hair to be short or long. I know that there was a setting for that somewhere. Yes, ponytail length. So, once again, Fuyu, you have a say in what happens on the channel, DTT you as well. There are mods, yes, I didn't get to the mods yet, but maybe we'll check them out. So, for today, long, short ponytail or no ponytail? Fuyu says long fits her better. Okay, then we leave it at long ponytail. And hope that she will not step on her own hair. Yeah, the puns as usual are just really very bad. Memory of a believer. A new unit will be dispatched from the colony. A long time has passed since the final war. Mother Sphere finally answered our call. That will be upon those abomination. May our memory live on forever. May we find salvation. Why can't we be friends with these monsters? Maybe if we would try to better understand them, listen to their feelings, their needs, we could all get along. Of course not, we are here to kick their butts. Thank you for confirming, Fuyu, that no buffering so far, no buffering on my end either. Which kinda rules out Streamlabs as the culprit, and once again points at my favorite ISP as the reason for the disconnect and problems with Twitch, RCS RDS, which should admit, at least admit, that their network became a mess, and instead of fixing it, they are just patching it up. Treating the symptoms but not fixing the issues. I didn't know. Oops. Shift.
It's a bit too far for that. How about you try jumping and dashing?
Or do you mean John Lennon? Or which Lennon? I knew some friends who had their nickname Lennon. But if you mean John Lennon, yeah, of course. Come on. Let's see what the game wants now. Okay, so basically now we can dash in the air. Which is my dash button? Oops. Let's not forget about our health. Yes, John. Come on, my flowers power speech earlier was just a joke. A game, a joke. I don't believe that you can reason with all monsters and understand yourself with everyone. On the other hand, a couple of days before we had a discussion with Krali. Come on. And he pointed out that for him, for example, classical black and white fantasy and sci-fi has become very boring. He likes to spice up things, and I agree with him. Sometimes an ogre that's more than an ogre, or an orc that is not set on destroying the world, can make things more interesting. Okay, nice. One more. Great. And I especially love games where morality takes to a much grayer area than what you would normally expect. One of the best examples for me remains, of course, Disco Elysium.
Everything looks like an apocalypse.
What?
Nothing. Just
The
talking
Styx
to
games,
myself.
yes. The Styx games as well. And going back more in the history of video games, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic. One of my favorite characters ever in a video game must be Kreia, who showed that there are a bit more of shade between the white of the Jedi and the red of the Sith, and always posted some interesting questions about how you can help people better around you by completing their chores for them and protecting them and just making sure they are safe. Or let's see, the water kills us here? No. Or by letting them learn how to defend themselves and how to fend for themselves and to become stronger, knowing that there isn't a miraculous magical protector showing up in their moments of need. Legionnaire 249's memory, please open. Damn it, this isn't it. Right, the clock hour. It says the time is ... That's why KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, remains one of my favorite RPG series. And yes, of course, I was a huge fan of Baldur's Gate, and back then, although I was a fan, I allowed myself to critique Icewind Dale for being a bit too hack and slash and not story oriented enough. But looking at today's games, those are mighty fine examples of very good RPGs and good narratives. Again, Baldur's Gate 3, a fantastic achievement, loved it. But Okay, I don't know the passcode. Let's find the passcode.
I need a 4-digit password.
From all the older games, I remember fondly,
Okay.
especially Planescape
This
Torment.
sign reads time. Could this be connected to the clock tower?
Which was really, really, really fun and put a lot of moral questions on the table. Pool of Radiance versus Arx Fatalis. I don't know whose opinion is whose. I played both of them, but from my personal opinion, Arx Fatalis was something that was closer to my heart and my tastes. Not saying it was better, saying it was closer to what I like. Oh, me, a favorite song. That's so hard. That's so hard. Also, while I think about my favorite song, Jay is the oldest, so he's the poor guy. Basically, see if you can remember Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. That was also a mighty fine game and one of the first steampunk games. Favorite song? Man, it varies from time to time. I listen to so many genres, from heavy metal to jazz, from hip hop to classical music, from and don't laugh here because it's true, Tibetan. I forgot about fall damage. Tibetan throat singing to commercial and pop music. And I have some all-time favorites, like Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight, or Dire Straits' Private Investigation, or AC/DC Hell's Bells, or Dave Brubeck Take 5, or Miles Davis Time After Time. But I can't pinpoint just one song. Septera Core, yes man, and Silver, man, those were some really nice games. This is my favorite Saturday so far. We are chatting about going back and going down on memory lane with some excellent games. Great music, good game, great company. I hope all my streaming days will be like this. And in terms of OG games, Arcanum, yes, and Nox. I remember Nox. Nox was mighty fine, although again it was more of a adventure-oriented game, but Nox was fine.
Watch out!
No drinking here either, just Coke, because I don't drink and stream. Maybe I should. Nah, just joking.
Are you okay?
This time it wasn't me. It was the environment collapsing with me. Let's see what's going on here. Septera Core Silver, yes. And also switching up the genres, if you remember Sanitarium. That was a mighty fine adventure game. I'm a streamer too, can you follow me and drop a message in my chat? Kick.com, Brian Kubat. Sure, Brian, I will do that. Why not? Let's do it right now. Taking a tiny bit of a break. Man. follow sent, Brian. And if you follow back, fine. If you don't follow back, fine. Hope you will. Hope you will keep your word. If not, that's mighty fine as well. Because I can appreciate people hustling and struggling to grow their channels. I'm in the same hustle right now. Oh, you have 143 followers with me and 40 viewers. You're way ahead of me, Brian. You're way more ahead of me. Although I feel like these two things that entered the chat might be not Brian, but his bots. Anyway, we did a nice gesture for him. We generated some good karma. We need to finish the OST, a figurine to send out to one of our patrons, and Jay is rolling cigars in the corner. Peak. Yo. Indeed, it's peak end of the week. What figurines? What patrons? Do tell me more about that, DTT. I'm curious. As you can tell about my background, I'm huge into figurines. I also have some very unique ones. Some are actually unique to Romania. And I will show you one in just a jiffy. But I'm still trying to catch up with the messages. So we answered on Kik. And Fuyu says she really likes Durdudunya, but I don't think you've ever heard of it. Let me surprise you. If I remember correctly, Durdudunya, Dunya actually. First, if I do believe that on the first U of the second word is a double hyphen, or what is it called, 2 dots, so it'd be Durdudunya. And if I remember correctly, I do heard one of their songs. She passed away? Something like that? She passed away? Maybe? Maybe? Yes. So I do remember correctly. 1 second, because we are talking about figurines, let me show you a really rare one. So many people in Romania have the collector's edition of Cyberpunk. It wasn't that rare. So a lot of people have the statue, the figurine with the main character jumping off John Woo style from the motorbike. But as far as I know, or it's either one in Romania or at least very rare, is this figurine. This is the original Cyberpunk figurine that was given away to press at E3 and Gamescom 1 or 2 years prior to the actual launch of the game. And as far as I know, you were not able to buy this. The lady in the end didn't make it in the final game. But I very much like the original direction. And it's very rare. And it's one of my most precious treasures. And I love... At one point, as I promised, there will be a material showcasing all the figurines and memorabilia around me, but also focusing in depth on some of my favorites. We print and customize figurines. Most of our work goes out to our patrons. We don't sell them. What we do from DBZ to a 1.7 meter Shogun Megazord. Man, that sounds so cool. We definitely need to hang out. I'm glad for you that you like that. We did the hand blades for that one in real size, but we can make it 100% bigger. I feel like some gauntlets have been thrown down. Let me show you. That is heavy. Another unique or almost unique thing in Romania, as far as I know. Again, there are none others, because this big boy, let's see how the camera can pick it up. My hand compared to the size of this. This is a 101 replica of the original hidden blade worn by Ezio. And unfortunately, my only problem with it is that the blade is not functioning. So it has been, the mechanism has been removed and it has been soldered together as one piece, not to hurt yourself or anyone. And this was offered many years ago as a prize in a competition for the best work a PR did in Ubisoft. And since it was a prize and I have it, you can figure out the conclusion why I have it. And it's heavy. But again, it's one of my other favorite pieces. All of the variations of that one, but working 100% with real leather, including pick one and the launcher one, foam bullets. If you want a working one, we can make you a sturdy one out of carbon. Maybe we will discuss this. I feel like I've met Willy Wonka's Magic Toy Factory and many of my desires can come true. We'll circle back to that. Most definitely. But this is not just the fact that it's cool, but it's also the fact that holds some personal value. It's tied to an achievement I managed to do back when I was working at Ubisoft. And although it's not working, and I'm pretty sure you can make a much cooler one, it will still be proof that a lot of people thought what I'm doing in Ubisoft was suicidal, but for a long while actually shaped the gaming scene of Romania, and it became a personal achievement. Jay is the whiz in that regard. I just know materials and have the good deals for them. Man, sounds good. At one point we will discuss this. But show and tell, at least for now, is over. Let's kick on with the stream. Where did I remain? Why am I there? Oh, basically, so I just collapsed everything? Up to the point of still needing a code? Try to go upstairs and it didn't work? Come on. That's just mean. Just 1 second, one moment to ban Opa to read, because I feel like his comment was more than unasked for. Done. Oh no. Oh no. We banned someone. Oh no. Then something switched and became Manele. Is that right for this? There were a ton of good people in the gaming scene in the 2005 to 2012. Then something switched and it became Manele. Is the right word for this? I already discussed this with Radu, another follower of mine, longtime friend. who before worked at, among other places, at Emag, and he was in charge of gaming, and we did a lot of events together. And we usually are the ones to lament about this. Quite bad choice. Quite at length, because not just me or not just you, him and many others feel like the gaming industry in Romania went through some unwanted changes. Gamers, players are no longer in focus, and those in control either don't know or don't care. And I'm gonna give you several examples. Like at one point I had a dialogue with Altex, who were offering a bonus for Spider-Man 2 to be more exact, a keychain as a spider bot, but only for those who bought the normal edition. The regular edition. All those who bought the special or the collector's edition got twiddly teeth. Nothing. Because someone at PlayStation thought that they need to incentivize only the regular edition. As in, it doesn't care. Someone didn't care enough for the people who invested much more in the game, buying the deluxe or the collectors. They only cared about also selling regular editions, which is a big slap on all the people's faces who contributed to growing this passion and hobby in Romania. And I'm not talking just about the people behind the scenes or who worked in the industry, but those who came to the events, those who bought the games, those who took the time to participate at contests, launch events, or just bought the magazines, came to support the games. It's just a huge slap in their face. Because you say only profits matter and only what the company wants. Basically, you are right. You are right, DTT. People who came after me, Radu, and others substituted the word gamer for buyer. And more annoyingly, people from Altex, who should have had a say in this, knew their audience, agree with me, but from trying to avoid the conflict with the distributor and their local representatives, oh, I should have shifted, yeah, didn't do anything about this. Then came the launch event, where the agency, local PR agency where I worked for more than 3 years, handled the launch event by asking a streamer, a well-known streamer in Romania, a relatively well-known streamer in Romania, he was brought in to stream the game and held the launch event. It didn't go very well because people, the only activity they could partake in was look at Bobo, how he streamed, how he played. That was it. No contests, no presentation of the game, no representatives of anyone talking about the game, any officials, nothing. And people had the chance to win over one of several hundreds of prizes, which in theory sounded good. You buy the game and you have the chance to win one of several hundreds of prizes. But the prizes were set up in a very insulting way so they can claim hundreds of prizes. And I know there were always, even at my launch events, there were some lower value products, but I tried to bundle them together. No, here they split everything, and basically you had the chance, if you bought the game, to win, for example, a pencil. You heard me right, a Spider-Man 2 pencil. Or a notepad, a small notepad on which to use the pencil. But they were two different prizes. In reality, there were tens of small notepads, tens of pencils, a few keychains with the spider bot, maybe one or two t-shirts, maybe one backpack, but basically it was very different from the kind of events we used to organize and how we tried to raise this community. And no one from the press, no one from the streaming community, no one in gaming raised their voice but me. I was the vocal minority who said this is not how things should be done, and people should be respected. I went as far as to participate in a podcast, Go for IT's podcast, held by my good friend Cosmina Ionica. And we talked about this, and we talked about how Romanian gamers should deserve more respect. It was their most successful gaming podcast on their channel, gathered almost 9,500 views, so almost 10,000 views. And all I heard back from Altex and Sony and other voices that I'm out of touch, I'm out of loop, I'm jealous, stuff like that. Which I guess was a reaction to be expected from people, this kind of people. DTT says also the gaming culture is on its last leg in Romania. I hope not. I hope not. I don't want one of my favorite hobbies and passions to go extinct. Most of the young ones doesn't care that much for merch. They want skins and the market responds. Yes and no. Merch still gathers a whole amount of people. The problem is that the merch is no longer getting to the people because most of the merch is distributed among friends and contacts of local representatives, most of them not having to do anything with gaming. There was recently, I heard about this, there was recently organized a screening for Until Dawn movie, the Until Dawn movie, and I know there were some merch because one of the journalists who was invited to participate noticed it, but it never got with the gaming journalists. So it probably again landed with the friends of the representatives, because that's why merch is produced, right? To fill the inventory of your friends, not to give back to community, right? What does merch have to do with community? Also, DTT says that Altex or EMAG and others should not have a say in how culture is expressed. Yes, but they can have a positive influence through the events they are organizing and the behavior they are encouraging. Because once upon a time, all the launch events that we did with Altex, EMAG and others were a powerful motor and force behind the growing hobby in Romania. And it was just, again, a slice of the whole culture. Because we have to understand that gaming is not just esports, not just single player games, not just the games we like. Gaming is a very heterogeneous domain and there are a lot of aspects to it, and a lot of people can have fun with it in their own way, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, let me just scroll up a bit because I lost track of the comments. We are very chatty today, I love it. Okay, gaming is not a currency, it's not a brand, it's a passion. Well, DTT, gaming can be an art form, gaming can be a business, gaming can be a currency, gaming can be a passion, gaming can be a hobby, gaming can be a distraction, depend on who you ask. But gaming is huge, and gaming is a business. As much as we don't like to admit it, the gaming industry rakes in more money than the movie and the music industry combined. The only other industry that has bigger income but similar in magnitude to gaming is the adult industry. Merch falls by the wayside every time, not surprising. Yeah, unfortunately for a couple of years now, merch is not landing where it's supposed to, not with the fans. I know another guy who did this and then he just walked out of the industry. I know several guys who walked out of the industry. Some for the better, some for the worse. I met during my career journalists who were passionate about gaming, who knew about gaming, who did their best to improve and help the community grow. And I also knew people who were in it either for the personal profit or their personal glorification. But yeah, I'm an old warhorse, so it is to be expected that I've seen a lot. Okay, Fuyu says, what's the name of the podcast? Haven't really seen any good Romanian gamers in a while, mostly brain rot content targeted to younger audiences. To answer to Fuyu, yeah, unfortunately this is the trend in Romanian streaming, among Romanian streamers. They play free-to-play games and target younger audiences because there is where the numbers are, where the figures are. Also, to be absolutely fair and transparent, there is a lack of understanding of gaming in Romania, and this lack of understanding is being profited by some of the agencies who try to promote gaming as a relatively virgin communication channel for FMCG brands. For those of you who don't know what FMCG is fast-moving consumer goods. So basically brands like Old Spice or Pepsi or let me think what other brand I could name that is non-endemic. Gillette, KFC comes in and tries to adopt a language that they believe will work with gamers. But they don't care about gamers. They care about users. So basically they are just faking it, and instead of adapting their message to gaming, they try to adapt gaming to their message. And a few of our agencies here in Romania who are doing gaming communications are guilty of that. Helping brands pervert gaming. And then they have a shock when they see a lot of kids viewing streams, because there are a lot of eyes on these streamers who you mentioned. A lot of kids are watching them. But after they manage to rake up a big number of viewers, they fail to convert. Because guess what? Kids will gather around the skunk's mascot who is giving out t-shirts, and they may even buy a deodorant sometimes or something from Old Spice, or they can nag their parents to buy it for them. But they will not really have money, for example, to buy a Razer notebook or, I don't know, a Logitech high-end keyboard. And now we are talking about endemic examples. or just because you have a news stand or a refreshment corner at a gaming event, the biggest gaming event in Romania, doesn't matter that people after that will be actively, or gamers will be actively seeking you out in metro stations, your regular points of sale, when you don't offer them anything except higher prices on juice and Coke and other refreshments. So yeah, a lot of misunderstanding of gaming and being the business part of it being handled by people who are not gamers led to the current state that is in Romania. And I agree, it's not good. That's why you hear me struggling to improve and get back to my former English accent and streaming to people who are older. That's why you will not see Fortnite here. That's why you will not see Fall Guys, although Fall Guys was fun, but the mobile version knockoff that some are playing. You will not see League of Legends, because their audience is not one that will appreciate what I have to say and not one with which I want to have deep discussions. Yeah, that's why this, with my broken English accent, is targeting people like you, people with whom I can resonate, people with whom I can talk, people who appreciate and video games on all their shape, in all their shape and forms, and who want to build a better community. DTT says, look at it like this: there is zero marketing for apparel, a ton for skins and other in-game crap. Yes and no, depends on the game, but I agree with you that the marketing and especially the publicity for skins is much louder than anything else. There is no but, but, there no say period. There is a but. For me there's always a but, because I've been behind the scenes so much that I can always see the flip side. There is always something bad in the best, and there's always something good even in the worst. I might be an idealist, and I'll be the first to critique Romania's current gaming scene. But I promise you, I will be going the last to give up on it. And to answer your earlier question, Fuyu, if you go to YouTube and you search for Go for IT, you will find a channel called Go for IT Raw. Go for It Raw. Let me put... can anyone put the handle in the chat? Please? Yes, Alma, that's it. At goforit.ro. And there, if you search for my real name, or just for this word, you will find the interview with me where I lament about the current state of gaming. I would not trust the seller to regulate the market. I would prefer... That's a very hard discussion actually, DTT. Who regulates the market? The gamers? Which gamers? On which basis? Right now there is a strange dynamic. Honestly, sellers have nothing to say in the dynamic of the market. On one hand, we have the pressure from the gamers, those who buy games. On the other hand, the majority of the power is in the hands of the importers. PlayStation, well known. There is also another company who has 70%, used to have more. concentrated at CD media. Did the stream reconnect? One. Two. Okay, so the stream deconnected and reconnected. Once again, it flabbergasts me, but I do believe this is the ISP. Let's see if it's... The stream is on, the chat is wonky. What do you mean, DTT, the chat is wonky? Let me just check. What the hell is going on here? Oh, I'm loving RCS, RDS today again. Where are we? And why did the stream stop on YouTube? It should have just picked up. The chat is always behind a bit, since there is a delay. I'm using low latency, so basically I see your messages almost in real time, but and it's buffering again. Wonderful.